Morning, guys. I just want to share on waking this morning. I caught the end of this dream that stuck with me, and it felt increasingly prophetic. And now I want to explain this to you. So I found myself with another person. There was a guy with me, and it felt like somebody very comfortable. Anyway, in front of me was this rock pool, and at the very edge was this big, gigantic waterfall. Now it was like a cliff edge, but this massive waterfall, and up these rocks to the left was this beautiful house. And our mission was to get across this little rocky river thing to get to this nice rock pool. That was the goal. We were trying to get to this rock pool, and I stopped and I hesitated because I could see the very edge of this waterfall, and I thought, if I just slip on one rock, I'm gone. And I just looked, and there was fear entered my body. And I kind of turned to this person we could die if we just slip and fall. And as I looked really closely at the edge, I could see like a foot high little kind of boundary. And I thought, man, that's not going to stop a body going over this cliff edge. And I looked up to this house sitting up on this waterfall, the rocks of this waterfall. And I thought to myself, in my head, I thought, man, there's people living in this house. Surely this is safe to cross. If there's a house built here, surely it's fine. And so when I looked at this house, I found some solace and safety in that thought. And so we proceeded to cross, and we crossed. And as we crossed over, we saw this beautiful rock pool with other people in there, playing in the water. And as I looked back, I realized, oh my goodness, what I could see from the other side was the very edge of the waterfall. But when I got across to the other side and I turned back, I saw that there was that first barrier that was a foot high, but then it went down into another little rocky pool with another barrier, and then there was the actual edge of the waterfall. And I realized from what I could see, and this is where I want to speak on the prophetic with this dream, is that initially, sometimes in a situation, you can only see this much. And because of my perspective, I could from that angle, could only see the very edge of that waterfall and a little foot high barrier that wouldn't stop anything going over. And so great fear come into my body. And I hesitated. I didn't want to cross. I didn't want to get to. We knew we had a goal. We wanted to get somewhere, and I was stopped because of fear, because of what I could see. And so what happened is, because of the perspective of only what I could see from where I was, it caused a hesitation. It caused fear. It caused me to stop. But when I looked unto the rock that was higher than I, the rock is Jesus Christ. When I looked at the house built upon the rock, a house built upon the rock is a stable and a firm foundation. There is safety in a house built upon a rock. And when I saw the house, in me, I felt a sense of safety, like I can cross over, because if there's a house firmly planted on a rock, this is a safe place. And so what I want to say is, in life, there are times when we're in a position and we can only see yay far, and it causes us distress because we can't see the fullness of what that is. And really, when I crossed over, and the only way that you're going to cross over from that situation is if you raise your eyes to look at the rock that is higher than yourself, which is Jesus Christ, and you take courage in Him. You take courage in Jesus. It will cause you to have the ability to get to where you need to go. And in retrospect, when I looked back to see, I realized, oh my goodness, what I could see was the very edge, but what I couldn't see was that there were multiple barriers. There were actually multiple barriers that I couldn't see because of where I was. And to me, that dream was very, very prophetic. And so I just really wanted to explain to you that dream and what I saw from that dream. And it was very, very clear, and it was just that little bit of the dream, and I knew it was prophetic, and I knew I wanted to share that for myself, but also for you. Perspective makes a huge difference, and the only way that you're going to cross over that bridge where you feel great fear and something's holding you there is to raise your eyes and look to the rock that is higher than I. And that's what happened, and that's where I took great safety and courage, and I knew, okay, I can cross to the other side. And anyway, I just want to encourage you on this Monday morning, if you're facing something that just you can only see this little bit that's causing you great anxiety and fear, let me tell you, you don't even know what's on the other side. You don't know what's on the other side. And place your eyes and look to Jesus, and keep your gaze fixed upon Christ, because the Bible says, those whose eyes are stayed on him shall be in perfect peace. So remain in peace, keep your eyes focused on Jesus, regardless of what it looks like right now, and the only little bit you can see in your scenario and your circumstance. Don't allow that to cause you to back away from what the promises of God, what God has got for you in that season, guys. So be encouraged and have a blessed Monday.